Welcome back. Today I'm thrilled to delve into the riveting tale of a true icon, one whose journey through the tumultuous tides of fame, scandal, and reinvention has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the world of fitness. We're about to embark on a journey through the extraordinary life and legacy of a woman who defied conventions and reshaped her career, all while inspiring millions worldwide. But before we dive in, let me take a moment to share why I'm so passionate about this series and why I believe it's important. It's all about inspiration. I believe that inspiration can be found in the most unexpected of places. It's woven into the fabric of diverse experiences and the stories of individuals who, despite their differences from us, share a common thread of resilience and transformation. These individuals may not mirror our own lives, and we may not always resonate with them on a personal level. In fact, we may not even like them. Yet, what unites us is their ability to reinvent themselves, to turn adversity into triumph, and to channel a struggle into a force for good or change. As we navigate the hustle and bustle of life, it's all too easy to overlook the profound messages embedded in every book, film, or video we encounter. So I hope that as you journey with me through these stories, you'll not only discover those hidden messages, but also find yourself stirred by the same emotion and inspiration that fuels me while I'm researching these different people and making these videos. And now, without further delay, let's delve into the captivating story of our next fitness icon, the incomparable Jane Fonda. Let's step into the enchanting realm of Jane Fonda, where every chapter of her life story is a testament to resilience, determination, and an unwavering pursuit of her dreams. Born on December 21st, 1937, amidst the vibrant tapestry of New York City, Jane Seymour Fonda emerged into the world with a spark that foreshadowed the extraordinary journey ahead. As the daughter of the legendary actor Henry Fonda, Jane inherited not just his talent, but also his indomitable spirit. With a heritage steeped in Hollywood legacy, Jane's destiny seemed intertwined with the silver screens and glittering lights of showbiz. Drawing from her father's acting prowess and her mother's grace, she embarked on a quest to carve her own niche in the entertainment industry. Fueled by a relentless determination to prove herself on her own terms. However, the road to stardom was paved with challenges. In the cutthroat world of acting, where competition is fierce and rejection is commonplace, Jane faced her fair share of obstacles. Yet with each setback, she emerged stronger and more resilient, honing her craft and refusing to be confined by the limitations imposed by others. It was her breakthrough performance in the 1968 cult classic Barbarella that catapulted Jane into the stratosphere of fame, propelling her onto the international stage and cementing her status as an icon of the swinging 60s. With audacious flair and magnetic charisma, she mesmerized audiences around the globe, leaving an indelible mark on cinematic history and redefining the archetype of the modern-day screen siren. As Jane's star continued to rise, she found herself at the center of controversy during the politically charged Vietnam War era. Unafraid to speak her mind, she became an outspoken activist, even making a controversial visit to Hanoi in 1972. However, her actions drew criticism from some who accused her of betrayal and unpatriotic behavior, leading to the moniker Hanoi Jane and casting a shadow over her career.
Accepting a ceasefire when they are so close to achieving freedom and independence, for them to lay down their arms is surrender. And if there's anything I learned in Vietnam, it's after 4,000 years of struggle against nature and against all kinds of very powerful and professional armies, they will not surrender now. They never have in their past, and they are certainly not going to surrender now. And Richard Nixon's 8-point plan of May 8th is asking the peasants and the people who are on the verge of controlling their own lives for the first time in so long to lay down their arms and compromise, and I do not believe they will do it. And I think that Richard Nixon is going to have to study Vietnamese history, read Vietnamese poetry. In one way, very concerned that if Nixon remains president, they will remain in prison. Families have been killed by American bombs, as these peasants' families have. The fact that they rescue the American pilots and that these pilots are well treated and cared for and operated on, I find miraculous. And I think that it is an indication of the quality of human beings that there are in Vietnam. Bon, j'ai dit que les pilotes ont tous, d'une façon ou d'une autre, dit the many, many people in America who are speaking out against the crimes that are being committed in our name by Nixon and by the Pentagon, the people who are struggling to reestablish in America the qualities that we started out with. It is these people who are the real patriots. I lived in France for 7 years, and it was Vietnam, and it was the war in Vietnam who forced me to ask myself certain questions about America. And I went back to the United States because I wanted to fight there in my country, because I care about my country. And I think that I shed many tears in Vietnam. I cried every day in Vietnam. It was never for the Vietnamese. It's impossible to cry for the Vietnamese. They sing, they dance, they create. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. I didn't cry for the Vietnamese, I cried for the Americans. Because although the bombs are falling on Vietnam, it's an American tragedy. The tragedy is ours, and it's going to take the American people many, many years to undo the damage and to wipe off the blight that has been put on our flag and our country by the likes of Mr. Nixon.
Despite facing harsh scrutiny, Jane didn't shy away from her beliefs. Instead, she used her platform to advocate for causes close to her heart, refusing to let the backlash silence her. This period marked a challenging time in her public life, but rather than retreat, Jane forged ahead with determination. In the aftermath, Jane embarked on a journey of self-discovery and reinvention. Recognizing the need for a rebrand, she embraced her role as a fitness icon and wellness advocate. Through her groundbreaking workout videos, she inspired millions to prioritize their health, leaving an indelible mark not just on the fitness world, but on popular culture as a whole.
Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt.
Playing workout tapes by Fonda, but Fonda ain't got a motor in the back of her Honda.
Jane's influence transcended mere exercise routines. She fundamentally changed how people approached fitness and well-being. With her iconic aerobics videos and burgeoning fitness empire, she became synonymous with health and vitality, motivating individuals of all ages to take ownership of their wellness journey. Her fitness empire wasn't solely about physical health. It embodied resilience and self-reinvention. But Jane's journey was far from over. Fueled by her infectious energy and expertise, she emphasized that fitness wasn't just about sweat. It was about enjoying the process. Whether you were a seasoned gym goer or a newcomer to the scene, Jane made sure everyone felt included and empowered to join in on the fun. Yet Jane's ambitions extended beyond sculpting bodies. She aimed to shape minds too. Through her best-selling books, public engagements, and philanthropic endeavors, she championed the message of holistic health and wellness. From advocating for self-care rituals to embracing inner strength, Jane positioned herself as the ultimate advocate for self-love and empowerment. Her impact didn't stop at the gym's threshold. Jane harnessed her passion for making a difference, advocating for women's rights and environmental conservation.
I have a platform, and Grace and Frankie has certainly helped with that. And I didn't feel that I was using it to the maximum. I just knew I wanted to move to Washington, D.C. This was the fall of 2019, and do something that would raise a ruckus and garner attention. Every Friday, I would hold a rally in front of the White House, in front of the Capitol, and then engage in civil disobedience, where we would be risking arrest. I celebrated my 82nd birthday in jail because I knew that would garner a lot of attention, and it did.
Through her actions, she demonstrated that true health encompassed more than physical fitness. It's about lifting others up and amplifying voices for positive change.
Do you feel that the gays in San Francisco, they're very powerful and very strong, they need your support? Are they still being discriminated against? Do you feel that?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Culturally, psychologically, economically, politically, gays and lesbians are discriminated against. They are a very powerful movement, especially in San Francisco. They don't need me, but they like me because, and they like our organization, the Campaign for Economic Democracy, because they know that working together we can be stronger than either entity is by itself. So it's really healthy that we try to bring these things together.
Are they using you, or are you using for your economic democratic campaign?
I hope they use me. What am I here for if not to be used by good people for good things? I'm part of an organization, and you could also be cynical as you are and ask me, isn't the organization using me? But you could also think, aren't I using the organization just the way the gays and lesbians that are here are using the organization that they're a part of? It helps give us perspective. It helps us keep our values intact. It increases our power, because as individuals we don't have very much, but all together we have a lot of power. So everybody uses. The point is, what are you using for? If it's just for greed or selfish reasons, it's one thing. But if you're using each other for things that are good and positive, then why not?
Last question, Jane. How do you see the future of the gay movement in San Francisco in particular, and in America in general? There's a lot of right people who don't like the power of the gays.
It's hard to predict in a real sense exactly what's going to happen. All we can know is that what this movement is seeking, which is nothing less than respect and justice and stopping discrimination against people because of sexual preference. You're on the side of the angels. I mean, it's just and it's right. And so if we're going to survive as a world, and we may not, but if we do, they're going to win.
So if you're considering breaking a sweat with a Jane Fonda workout video, know that it's not just about burning calories, it's about tapping into a legacy of empowerment, resilience, and collective betterment. Okay, that sounds dramatic, so just do it for the calories. Get ready to immerse yourself in the captivating journey of Jane Fonda's triumphant return to the silver screen. Picture Hollywood royalty Jane Fonda dazzling audiences with a series of unforgettable performances that left both critics and fans clamoring for more. Our cinematic adventure begins with Monster-in-Law, a film where Jane sees the spotlight, marking her comeback with flair. In this comedic gem, she portrays Viola Fields, a mother-in-law determined to shake up her son's love life. Paired with the incomparable and also iconic Jennifer Lopez, Jane delivers comedic brilliance, infusing the screen with her trademark wit and charm. From hilarious one-liners to memorable showdowns, Monster-in-Law solidifies Jane's reign as a comedy queen, leaving audiences yearning for an encore. But hold on to your seats, because there's a lot more to this journey. Let's rewind to an earlier era and delve into the world of espionage and suspense with Klute. This Academy Award-winning thriller showcases Jane's unparalleled versatility as an actress. As Bree Daniels, a call girl ensnared in a web of intrigue, Jane captivates viewers with a performance hailed as nothing short of mesmerizing. Her portrayal earns her critical acclaim, establishing her as one of Hollywood's most esteemed leading ladies. Now let's shift gears to a different kind of revolution, one that took place in the corporate world. In 9 to 5, Jane Fonda, alongside Lily Tomlin and Dolly Parton, served up a deliciously comedic take on workplace dynamics. As Judy Burnley, a recently divorced working woman thrust into the cutthroat environment of corporate America, Jane shines with her signature blend of wit and charm. The film not only captivated audiences with its humor, but also struck a chord with its commentary on gender inequality in the workplace. It's yet another testament to Jane's ability to tackle complex social issues with grace and humor, solidifying her status as a cultural icon. And we can't overlook the profound impact of Coming Home, a stirring drama that touches the soul. In this poignant tale set against the backdrop of the Vietnam War, Jane delivers a tour de force performance as Sally Hyde, a military wife torn between love and duty. Her portrayal is raw, authentic, and utterly compelling, earning her the coveted Academy Award for Best Actress. It's hard not to wonder about the dedication and motivation behind her portrayal of such a complex character, given the whole Hanoi Jane and Vietnam debacle.
The winner is Jane Fonda.
I'm so happy. I wanted to win very much because I'm so proud of Coming Home. And I want many people to see the movie. I'm signing part of what I'm saying tonight because while we were making the movie, we all became more aware of the problems of the handicapped. Over 14 million people are deaf. They are the invisible handicapped and can't share this evening. So this is my way of acknowledging them.
Yet Jane's journey doesn't end there. In the realm of television, she continues to captivate hearts as Grace Hansen in the beloved Netflix series Grace and Frankie. Alongside her dear friend Lily Tomlin, Jane infuses the role with warmth, humor, and humanity, portraying a woman navigating life after divorce with grace and resilience. Week after week, Jane mesmerizes audiences with her impeccable timing and effortless charm, earning widespread acclaim and a devoted following.
Now you can't eat until Monday. You have to operate?
I've never had surgery.
Not ever? Like, say, up around here?
No.
But Jane's impact extends far beyond the screen. A passionate advocate for women's rights and environmental conservation, she utilizes her platform to effect meaningful change. Whether championing gender equality or tirelessly combating climate change, Jane embodies the spirit of activism, inspiring others to stand up, speak out, and make a difference. As we reflect on Jane Fonda's remarkable journey, let's take a moment to honor her enduring legacy. From her groundbreaking performances on the silver screen, to her tireless advocacy for social and environmental causes, Jane has left an indelible mark on both the entertainment industry and the world at large. Through her artistry and activism, Jane has inspired countless individuals to embrace their passions, stand up for what they believe in, and strive for a better future. May her legacy serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come. From the glitz and glamour of her Hollywood upbringing to her ascent as one of cinema's most celebrated leading ladies, Jane Fonda's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. Yet beneath the surface of fame and fortune lay a landscape rife with challenges. A time when Hollywood and society at large were steeped in sexism and rigid standards of beauty. But Jane refused to be constrained by these limitations. Armed with a unique blend of grit and tenacity, she fearlessly confronted the norms, carving out a path for women in the film industry and redefining the archetype of the leading lady. Each role she undertook, whether in award-winning dramas or politically charged thrillers, bore the stamp of her fierce intellect and undeniable talent. And then there's her revolutionary contribution to the fitness industry. She embodied the ethos of healthy living, advocating for holistic wellness and self-care long before it became mainstream. As we reflect on Jane Fonda's legacy, we're reminded of the complexity of her journey. She's a woman who defied convention, challenged norms, and left an indelible mark on multiple fronts.
There is a swath of the country who still, to this day, will look at Jane Fonda and say, I remember. And nothing will ever change how they feel.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that. I will go to my grave regretting the fact that I was photographed sitting on an anti-aircraft gun. That is in the documentary at length, and I talk about it at length, and I have apologized at length many times over the years. And I understand why people, especially guys who were there or who have, relatives who were there, are angry with me. It makes me sad because it means that they don't yet understand who really was responsible for the killing and the war and everything. And it wasn't just Republicans. It wasn't just the Nixons. It was the Johnsons and the Kennedys and all the way through. Both parties played a role in keeping a war going that the Pentagon Papers showed they knew they couldn't win. What I don't like is the fact that lies have been spread about things that I never did. And they continue, that I turned in names of POWs who were tortured as a result, and so on and so forth. None of that is true.
In closing, let's draw inspiration from Jane's story as we navigate our own paths. Let's embrace resilience, determination, and a belief in ourselves as we strive to make our mark on the world. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life and legacy of Jane Fonda. Remember, your potential is limitless when fueled by conviction and an unwavering belief in yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to see the next fitness icon I'll be featuring, or you can just click on either of the two links above to watch my videos on Richard Simmons or Suzanne Summers. Thank you for watching.
Just mention that nickname Hanoi Jane to Vietnam veterans, and the devil appears as a frontlet before their eyes. For more than 15 years, that image has burned on command. Last week, Jane Fonda apologized to the vets and their families. I was naive, she said to Barbara Walters, and it was a mistake. We had looked into the controversy because Jane Fonda was making a movie in the small towns in Connecticut of Waterbury and Naugatuck, and the vets there wanted no part of Jane. Last week, Jane Fonda went back to the towns to talk to the vets. Our Bill McGowan went back too, and was with the Vietnam veterans as they watched Jane.
Over the years, Jane Fonda has played many roles, and by box office standards, quite popular ones. But those who don't care for Jane Fonda politically will tell you that her most memorable on-camera appearance wasn't filmed in a Hollywood studio. It was shot 15 years ago, on location in Hanoi, behind enemy lines during the Vietnam War. But to many people's amazement, this was not make-believe. Fonda's supporting cast was not made up of Hollywood extras. These were the real Viet Cong soldiers who were killing American men. Although some applauded her courage to speak out against an unpopular war, others branded her with the nickname Hanoi Jane, a nickname that has endured for more than 15 years. Now, all these years later, a group of veterans are gathered around their television sets, watching something they never thought in their wildest dreams they'd ever see.
To men who were in Vietnam, who I hurt, or whose pain I caused to deepen because of things that I said or did, I feel that I owe them an apology.
For these veterans, Fonda's attempt to make peace removed the salt from their Vietnam wounds, but it didn't close them yet.
Look at her. Her eyes are gleaming, large and bright. Now, is she on TV screen making a movie, or is she apologizing for something that was really wrong?
The controversy peaked last winter when it was announced that Fonda would come to Waterbury, Connecticut to shoot her upcoming movie, an area which has more than its share of Vietnam veterans. Guys who just can't forget the image of Fonda sitting at the helm of an enemy gunner. a weapon which was used to shoot down American soldiers.
It's so painful for a lot of veterans to watch that movie and to see her reaction on it, which is it's like pure ecstasy.
This is why we are protesting this woman. It shows documented proof why we don't want her in Waterbury. I say no. As a Vietnam vet, sent 2 tours in Nam. I put a lot of my friends in bags. For this, not in my backyard.
Like everything else for Vietnam vets. Too little, too late. Why didn't she do this 5 years ago? When she knew how Vietnam vets felt about her 5 years ago. But it wasn't to her benefit, financially, to do it then. Now, a week before her movie's to be made, she's coming out and apologizing.
I think it's pretty safe to say that most Vietnam veterans around the country were tuned in Friday night to hear exactly what Fonda had to say. But it was a group of veterans from this area of Connecticut who really hit the jackpot. Because the following night, on Saturday, Fonda very quietly slipped into Naugatuck, Connecticut, and agreed to meet with about 26 Vietnam veterans in the church right behind us. But she laid down certain conditions. There were to be no photographs, no videotape cameramen, no reporters. So if there was a reconciliation, it was a very private one. Fonda wanted the meeting to remain a secret, but word leaked out, forcing her to answer some questions.
It's like a catharsis. This is not the first meeting that I've had with Vietnam veterans. And I think that it's not easy for a group like this to get together. And it's very private and very personal. And I was touched very, very much by things that they said. It made me think about certain things in a new way. And I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity. Why don't you talk to some of them?
Fonda's meeting with the veterans lasted over 3 hours. A meeting organized in part by Reverend John McCauley, a veteran himself.
She came over to us very genuine, even to some who were very hardcore and very much opposed to the meeting itself.
Did the meeting begin to heal some old wounds?
The statement made by one of the members of the group, which was, I think, the best statement. He said, the healing has already begun. That was the feeling we had. It isn't finished. There's always going to be some lingering pain and some lingering hurt, but the healing has already begun.
There's a lot of healing, and I think that we all agree that, you know, the time has come when it's good to try to understand what happened and move forward from it. And if I can be part of that process, I'd like to do it.
These veterans are among the only soldiers in modern American history to come home from a war unvictorious. So for them, a moral victory in their 16-year conflict with Jane Fonda was a very important battle.
Did you ever think we'd be sitting here one night and you'd be listening to a televised apology from Jane Fonda?
No, I never did. And it's a credit to all of us and all the veterans and all the Americans that sent the letters in of encouragement to us to keep on going. And we have been severely criticized. We know that. But I'm very proud to sit here tonight and say we have at least taken that first step.
Time changes. So do people.